everybody who's back here. For those of you who are out there watching via webcast, just an apology. It's the way things roll in a live setting. We're starting a little bit late. But this session's not going to go probably nearly as long as that one did. The title of this one is Partnering with My Essence for Sustainable Business. And we're just going to be touching on information regarding the trends and the importance, the critical importance of organics, the trends in the industry, and how you can partner with My Essence on those things, and answering any questions depending on what questions you guys have. And I'm going to actually go and wash dishes for later, and I will be back in here in a minute. So take it over and around.
All right, well, I don't have a script for this. So Lacey wanted me to cover, what I'm going to cover, what I think I should cover is history, how we got started, why we are where we are and who we are and what we're about, and very simple business model and how you can get involved with us. And any questions that come up, I know there were some great questions that were being asked outside, and I said ask that inside, because that'll provide some context. The answer will be really good to share with everyone. So I don't really have any presentation with this, so we can just turn it off, and I don't know how to turn it off. It'll just go off on its own? Yep. Okay, cool. So how we got started. I feel like I shouldn't be standing up.
You want to wheel that chair over?
Yeah, maybe, if that's okay. Okay, all right, I'll stand. How I got started, because there's three partners, three owners of our company. So my husband and myself are 1/3, and then there's Alf Orpen and John and Connie Hunter. So there's three partnerships in one group in our company. But so all I can tell you is my story, which is my version of how I got involved in the company and how we got started. But backtracking how I got involved in natural health, because I grew up in a normal, like in the 1970s with my mom and dad, that they meat and 3 veg with the vegetables boiled the life out of, the typical white bread, normal packet biscuits, and just, normal standard, the SAD diet. So by 20, I had a pap smear that was precancerous, and it scared the living daylights out of me, because I was like 20. I was like, what? You mean I could die of cervical cancer? No. So that put me on a path of natural health and well-being. So I started looking at going to naturopaths and detoxing, and looking at food and nutrition, and that's what got started on thinking about diet and health and well-being. Within a couple of years, I had met my husband and fell pregnant. So I was like 22 when I got pregnant, and I was still at university. I finished my degree in applied science. So maths is my training, my formal training, numerical science. But because I was pregnant with a young baby, I was looking for a way of part-time income. So I got involved in a skincare company that's an MLM company out of America, which I thought was, because what they told me was they were clean and green and great and wonderful and natural. And I believed them because I had no reason not to, because I'm a trusting person, aren't we all? We just believe what we're being told and have no reason to disbelieve. But there was one thing when I was, picking up the ingredients, picking up the products and reading them, I could pronounce the ingredients for a start, and looked up their marketing. See if I can turn that off, because it will, I'm sure there's a way of turning it off. Maybe, oh yeah, the remote.
That doesn't work. Worst case scenario, do you want to just unplug it?
Okay. unplug it from the... Oh, cool. Thank you. Highly technical solution. Awesome.
Oh, no, just give my surprise.
Oh. There was a remote. Oh, the remote, I didn't, I couldn't.
Are dead.
How do you turn TVs off these days? There's got to be a way.
They're probably on the top of it.
Oh. I don't know. I don't want to touch anything.
Got a blanket?
Doesn't matter. Oh, it's okay, isn't it? Right. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was reading the ingredients and I couldn't pronounce them, and I looked up their marketing literature, and they talked about, you know, disodium lauryl sulfosuccinate, because I can say them now because I've been researching them for 15 years. From coconut oil, natural surfactant from coconut oil, all these long chemical names, from palm oil, or methylchloroisothiazolinone, natural preservative. You know, and I'd be like, doesn't sound too natural. And I came across a cosmetic ingredient dictionary in a health food store. I'm like, that's what I need. Took it home, looked everything up, and discovered that these naturally derived, these coconut oil derived surfactants and natural preservatives weren't actually natural. And not only were they not natural, that the manufacturing process, that, like, okay, so they started out as coconut oil, but the manufacturing process to turn it from coconut oil into sodium lauryl sulfosuccinate required the use of toxic, synthetic, carcinogenic, cause cancer chemicals. And the process that you know, the process that it went through from going from coconut oil to the end ingredient were not things that you could, it's not like baking a cake where you put your eggs and your flour and your bicarb soda, and there's a chemical reaction that happens when you bake a cake, right? Turns it from all the ingredients into the yummy cake. But that's like basic kitchen chemistry. To turn this coconut oil into these surfactants was not basic kitchen chemistry. It was highly industrial, high extreme pressure, extreme temperature, catalysts and processing aids and toxic ingredients that were very polluting, damaging and dangerous. And the end product was therefore being contaminated with these toxic carcinogenic chemicals. So here I was in my early 20s, just discovered that this company that I'd been selling and promoting to my friends and family and whoever would listen to me as, natural health, beautiful aloe vera based lovely products. I felt I was lying now because I'd been lied to and duped, and was very extremely angry and disappointed and humiliated because when you represent something, you want to believe in it. So the precancerous diagnosis put me on the natural health. This shock of learning that I was selling products that weren't the real deal put me on the path of beauty, looking for a range of skincare and beauty products that I could feel really comfortable and confident with. And Kayla's just about to turn 18, so she was just a tiny, tiny baby, my first. So it's close to 18 years ago that I was doing this. And 18 years ago, there was a lot of products on the market saying they were natural, and pretty much none of them were. It was all this, naturally derived from coconut, palm oil, but they were really actually toxic chemicals. And they were just using the source ingredient as some deceptive way of lulling us, the consumer, into this false sense of security, which is what these are my perceptions, this false sense of security. Because when you see it on the label, you see this long chemical name, but it comes from coconut oil. So you assume, or I assumed, that it was, coconut oil, lovely, natural, safe, but it wasn't. because of when I looked into the manufacturing process, it was actually toxic and dangerous. So I started looking for a range of products that I felt comfortable with and couldn't find it. So my mother-in-law, who worked in a bookstore at the time, started giving me books about aromatherapy and herbal medicine and how to make cosmetics out of the things in your kitchen pantry. And I'm like, oh, cool, that looks like fun. So I just started making things in my kitchen, some successes, some drastic failures, exploding things and things going green and awful. But because the challenge with skincare, with making creams, is how to preserve and how to emulsify. Something like oil and water doesn't blend together, and creams are combinations of oil and water at a very basic level. So that's the challenge. But even these books that my mother-in-law was giving me were saying, use natural ingredients, but then you have to use this chemical emulsifier and these chemical preservatives, because there's nothing performs these functions that are truly natural, which I refused to believe. And I thought there has to be a way. There has to be a way. I didn't want to go to all of the trouble of finding these amazingly beautiful ingredients from all around the planet that were, because I was reading, just sucking this information up, talking about shea butter from Western Africa and how it's the natives use it as a hair conditioner. They use it to rub on their pregnant bellies as a stretch mark preventative. It's a natural sunscreen agent. And I was like, oh my God, all this natural stuff. And I was reading about rose essential oil and how it takes a million flowers, which is 5 tons of flowers, to steam distill 1 litre of rose essential oil, and how that's made. And I just fell in love with these ingredients that I was reading about and wanted to create products that used all of these ingredients. And I remember sitting back in my bed, propped up with my big pillow, reading one of the books, and just sitting back thinking, how cool would it be if I could make a range of products that was really, really amazingly beneficial with all of these ingredients and had no nasties, no one could pick any bones with. There was nothing in them that would make people question the integrity of them. And I remember feeling really excited about that. And so that was the beginning of, it was a hobby at that stage. So that was the little seed that was planted. And so it was a hobby for a number of years, and then my husband and I, we moved interstate. So we moved 2,000 kilometers away from my family. So at this stage, I had 2 little girls, and I was pregnant with our 3rd child, and moved interstate. And I don't know, are you all born and bred local, or have you moved? So for me, it was an amazingly liberating experience to move from my childhood shackles, shall we call them, that's who I was and everyone knew me, and moving interstate and being totally free because I didn't know anyone. And watching Oprah because I had 2 babies and I was pregnant. So I'm sitting every day thinking, what do I really want to do? What do I want to do with my life? Because I was back doing programming, and I did database analysis and design as part of my degree as well. So I was just doing that on a casual basis for whoever would take me. And I was thinking, what do I really want to do? If I could, now I've moved, no one knows me, if I could just create who I wanted to be, what would it be? And I wanted to create something with the products that I'd been playing with. So hence started my first official launch of my products. Was a bunch of girlfriends and I wanted to, because we wanted to create a natural health fair. Instead of going we had the usual fairs with fairy floss and Dagwood dogs and awful things that, you know, that you take your kids to, and there's rides and things like that. We had those, but my girlfriends and I wanted to create a natural fair with, you know, Hare Krishna hippie food and, you know, natural stuff, all natural, healthy things in a fair. So it took us, you know, a few months to get together, and we hired out the local, you know, football field kind of thing, and we got 3,000 people through that day. But that was my launch. I'm like, I'm going to launch my product range at that fair. So, you know, the few weeks leading up to it, I was making everything and putting them, you know, painting and hand labels and sticky tape on my things, and had this beautiful display of all of my products, which were all just the skincare products. I had about, you know, I don't know, 15 different products, body creams and moisturizers and cleansers and toners and scrubs and things like that, and didn't sell one thing, not one product, the whole day. Didn't sell a thing, and you know, by that stage, Lincoln, my baby, third child, was 6 weeks old, and had a little Leisha running around, you know, 18 months, and Kayla was, you know, 3 and a bit, and it was just like, oh, and I had mastitis on that day, and I didn't sell anything. I was like, well, that really sucked, but I know I've got good products. What, you know, there's got to be another way. So I just started. What I really wanted to do was educate women. So that was my real passion, was educating. So I just started writing articles and sending them off to natural health, well-being, free magazines that you get at health food stores. And hence started my professional life as a mail order business, a home mail order company. And within 18 months, I did another stall at a natural health expo and met Alf, my business partner. And basically within 15 minutes of meeting him, we were business partners. So Colin had left his, because, you know, within the first 18 months, we knew we had something special, and that we were getting really good feedback from, you know, my mail order business, Skin Creams. So he left his job, and we just thought we'd, you know, put everything into making the cosmetics, the skincare work. And then we met Alf, business partners within 15 minutes, just one of those, you just know, you just trust, and, or I did. And
That's an easy one to trust.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
He is, yeah, and that was just one of those things. And Alf's background was in organic farming. He was a director of the BFA, which is one of our organic certifying bodies in Australia. So he challenged me. He said, you know, they're great products and they're the best, you know, they're up there with any other sort of natural range, you know, and because he'd done some research, he was looking for a skincare company to partner with. But he challenged me to make, you know, could I go further and develop certified organic products? And I'd been eating organics for years, since my pre-cancer scare, and kids, you know, having babies, I wanted to feed them the best. So I was giving them, you know, eating organic food. So I knew a bit about food organics, but I had no idea, because I went, yeah, sure, I can do it, no problem. Had no idea what it actually meant to create a certified organic product. So spent the next 2 years researching, and at that stage, so this is the late 1990s, 98, 99. And at that stage, there were no organic cosmetic standards. There wasn't even a USDA standard. It was like there was organic food standards in Australia. And it was a challenge. Those two things that I mentioned before, preserving and emulsifying. So they were the two challenges that I had to overcome, so it took me a couple of years to figure out how to preserve and how to emulsify in a food system. So I looked at, you know, what are the natural antibacterials in nature, because I was like trying to figure it out. And one of the keys was remembering going backpacking in Thailand and taking this little stuff called Traveller's Friend, which was a grapefruit extract that killed the bugs in the water. And I thought, that killed the bugs in the water. I wonder if that would work as a preservative, as an antibacterial. So that was one of the things that I used in the beginning, which seemed to work. And then looking at, how to emulsify. What are the natural emulsions in nature? Like in food, so there's mayonnaise. How do we make mayonnaise? Because that's a combination of oil and water. And then there's milk, which is homogenized. That's a physical process. So that, there are things that we do in food that, so I just looked at the food perspective and tried to, bring it over to skincare and cosmetics. And so within a couple of years, had achieved world's first organic certified skincare products in January 2001. So that was really exciting. We were like, awesome. Okay, so the world's going to beat a path to our door now. Deathly silence.
Cricket.
Yeah. Tumbleweed. I was like, okay, so the missing link is getting out there. You can have the best product in the world, but unless people know about it, you're not going to sell any of it. So the next step was meeting John Hunter through a mutual friend, and his background was in the network marketing industry. He'd spent 20 years in the network marketing industry with New Ways and Herbalife was his background on a corporate level. So we actually met him through a mutual friend, and he approached us to develop organic skincare for him on a private label basis because he wanted to create a network marketing company using organics. So the next year or so we supplied him, and we were doing all the promotion and education as well because that was because they were my products and I formulated them, so I was the best person to talk about them. And that business was growing rapidly. And our little business, the original My Essence business, it was the mail order, and we were getting into some health food stores and was chugging along. But the network marketing business was really, growing rapidly. So we were, this is cool, this is interesting. So within, a year or so, we merged with John and created One Group. So that was, One Group was formed February 2003. Which was the combination of My Essence certified organic products and John's expertise and Alf's background in the organic industry, and mine and Colin's background in the manufacturing of the products. So and One Group was a play on organic natural enterprise, which was we were One Group because there were three of us together. So that's the very, very how we got started in the beginning. And we've just grown and gone through challenges. The last couple of years has been tough, like with the GFC, and we've been stagnant the last couple of years. So 18 months ago, we engaged with our leaders, with our representative leaders, and just said, guys, what do you want? What do we need? We all know where everything's slowed down, so what are we doing wrong? What's going on? What do you need? So basically the consultation process, which was the next year, they basically said, we want a simplified system. We want more money in the comp plan. Give us more money we want more money to share this message. It's like, okay, all right, well, we've got to figure out how to do that because, our cost of goods, as you can imagine, using certified organic ingredients. Just to give you one example, rose fragrance is like $50 a kilo. Like to get artificial rose fragrance, cheap, junky, petrochemical, toxic crap, but it smells like rose. It smells really nice. The rose essential oil, and in line with the way I do things, which is find the best product, the best version of that ingredient on the planet, where it is grown, get the best one, because that was part of my thing, because they're my products, I make them, And I want my customers to get the best experience when they use them, because I love creating them, and I love getting feedback from customers when they say, I love your products, and I want them to be beneficial. I want you to get the most benefit out of them. And the way I see it is, if you use the best possible products I can, then that's just a given. It's going to happen. So our rose oil is a single origin rose flower that's grown by a third generation family farm in Bulgaria, and they steam distill it, which is a very time consuming, labor intensive, hand pick the roses. So that each picker walks around with a hand woven bag on their back, and they pick 25 kilos of rose flowers a day, and it takes 5 tons, between 3 and 5 depending on the yield, between 3 and 5, that's 3,000 and 5,000 kilos of roses. Yeah, a lot, which is 1 million flowers. We're talking 1 million flowers to get 1 litre. And that litre costs us more than $14,000 as opposed to 50, right? But so if Estee Lauder were using our kinds of ingredients, because they use junk, right? The junky junk, cheap petrochemical fragrances. If those department store brands were, and the markup is insane in cosmetics.
They're more expensive than your product.
Yeah, and they are so cheap. We're talking 20 cents worth of ingredients, if that, in a $150 bottle, right? No jokes. Seriously cheap, junky stuff. But where they're really clever, which is where, I'm not super clever at. I love making the stuff, but I'm not really good at the selling and the marketing. So this is our downfall. But we're working on it. So if Estee Lauder or one of those department store brands were selling our products, they would be insanely expensive. But where we're at is that we want to keep the products within the range of as many people as possible. So they're not cheap. They're never going to be cheap because we use the best ingredients on the planet. So they're never going to be cheap, but we try to keep them within reasonable price points. So we cover our costs, we cover our factory costs, we make a little bit of profit, and then we give as much what's left over, we give away to everyone who loves the products and is willing to share those products with other people. And that's our model. There's only so much money that we have in a bottle, and then they've got your cost of goods, which is super duper high. So that chunk is our marketing budget. So instead of paying Claudia Schiffer $10,000 a day to get out of bed, we put our money into our people that share our message. So you heard that quote, she doesn't get out of bed for less than 10 grand a day. I'm worth it, kind of thing. So that's our model. That's our business model, and that's the network marketing model, is sharing our profits, sharing the prosperity with the people who love us and share our message. So that's what else do I need to say? Just I talked about the history and how we got started and how I got started, and the story of the 3 partners.
Right, okay.
And now talking about a little bit about the information about the products, and that we're network marketing, which is word of mouth, and that we've got that money to share.
Yeah.
And that's right, that's what I was talking about, which is the consultation process that we've been going through with our leaders, because we stagnated the last couple of years. So they said, more money. So I was like, oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, more money. How do we come up with more money? So we had a warehouse in Nevada. We had 2 warehouses in Australia. So we closed down Nevada, which is actually, it's better for you guys because we ship. Because one of the beautiful aspects of being network marketing and shipping direct to the consumer, not being in health food stores, not being in stores, because when we sell into stores, they can sit there, and it's been a real challenge for me to walk into a health food store with our products sitting on the bottom shelf, gathering dust. I'm like, guys, don't you know what you have here? You clearly don't know what you have here. You're not selling it well. So it would drive me insane. But that's one of the weaknesses of the retail model is that there's a lot of education that needs to be done with the stores and the staff, and it's really, really hard to compete. And if you don't have the budget for advertising, which we don't because we put all of our money into our people, so we can't spend $20,000 on a front page ad or the first 8 pages in a women's magazine. That we don't have that kind of money because our marketing budget is you guys. Yeah. So that's the challenge. So, but the beautiful part is closing Nevada down there was that extra, the shelf life, we shipped to Nevada, we shipped container loads to Nevada, but they'd sit for months, potentially for, weeks and weeks, if not months. So you weren't getting the latest batch, because we manufacture fresh every month. Pretty much our entire range, we customize what batch size we're making, so it's a fresh, as soon as we have a very, very small stock. So it's a high turnover stock, and that's just the way we started. That's the way I want it to continue because that gives you guys the freshest product possible, and we ship direct from our factory to your door. So it's even better. You get the freshest within, a month or 2 of manufacture, you're using it, which is obviously Hi, Renette! Welcome!
Like an hour, sorry.
Oh no!
Come on, give us a cuddle!
How are you? It was worth the drive.
Awesome! Renette's been with us for a while, so welcome. What was I saying? Totally lost my track.
Fresher.
Fresh for you. So yeah, closed Nevada. We closed our other warehouse down, and as a result of that, we had to, as one of the questions that I was asked outside, what's happening? We had to assess harshly our product line because we just didn't have enough room because we closed down 2 warehouses, went down from 3 to 1. So we had to cull our slowest selling products, perfumes, essential oils, baby range, and some of the cosmetics. So
Body milk.
no, that was a quality control issue. There was some, I just couldn't figure out what they were in the same batch. The question for the internet people, that was about the Tropicana body milk. It was a quality issue I just couldn't figure out what the heck was going on because in the same batch there'd be most of the bottles would be perfect and there'd be a small percentage of bottles going super duper disgusting rancid, and it smelled like really, really bad, and it'd just fall apart, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. So I did lots and lots of R&D on it and couldn't figure it out. So, and the same with the mascara. That was a quality control issue as well. Not saying it's gone forever, but I want my products. Yeah, I don't want anyone to have any issues with any of my products. It's like there were too many people saying the mascaras, it's okay. I don't want people to say, yeah, my Essence is great, but their mascara sucks. I want everyone to say, my Essence, they're all awesome products. So I've got, a couple of products, the Tropicana, which I absolutely love. you know, the coconut. Oh, I miss it so much, but I'm going to figure it out. I just needed to create some headspace because I went through 20 versions of the mascara trying to get it right, and I couldn't get it right. And same with, I couldn't figure out what was going on with the Tropicana. So I was like, okay, just leave it, shelve it, take it off, don't freak out, it'll be fine. You know, I hate disappointing people because everyone's like, oh, no, not the Tropicana. But I was like, okay, I needed to create some headspace, and I need to do some fun stuff and actually achieve and be successful in stuff because I was getting sick of failing. So it was getting me down. So I've just shelved it for a while. So we had to look critically at our product range to come up with some more space and or some to fit into the space that we had to, because we had to come up with some money in the comp plan. So that was so basically we're just pruning. We're in this pruning phase after winter. We're chopping off a few branches and we're getting ready for spring, which is when everything's going to bloom and blossom and grow, and from a stronger, tighter, leaner, meaner base. So that's the plan.
I have a question.
Yes.
I can't help but make this assessment because I just finished the biography of Julia Child and talking about her progression from, you know, at age 40 finding her passion and suddenly knowing what she wanted to do with her life and wanting to use the very best ingredients, no holds bar.
Who's Julia Child?
Chef.
Yeah.
Okay.
A very famous chef.
Okay.
She has since passed, but
Okay. Good. I need the context. I need the.
like this, and I would
She redefined,
Okay.
she redefined classic French cooking for the American
Palette.
palate.
Yep.
But her career was what was so fantastic to read about. So a lot of the things that you're saying are reminding me of this story. I thought I knew about her, but when I read the book, I found out how much I didn't know. But her same dedication to education, the best quality ingredients, and having a personality that said,
Please don't tell me she failed.
no,
Good.
There's a
All right.
movie about it.
She was honest and approachable. But two of the things that really got her off the ground and running were the book that she wrote, which educated people, and then having a television program that grew out of that. I'm just going to plant those little seeds.
I know.
But a book would be really a great idea because when I've done my table shows for the My Essence, I usually put books out there.
Yeah.
And True Green is one of the ones I always put out there for people to flip through. Easy, simple ways that you can live more green because it connects the dots for people.
There's a million things I could write about. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I'm scared.
your story is good. I mean,
Yeah.
your story's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, how to start. Anyway, okay, thank you for that.
Are you taking questions now?
We can, yeah, we can work with it.
I know one of the things I thought was amazing about the company, and when I talked about it, people loved was the fact that it's carbon neutral.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes.
It's nice to be able to share that with people who inquire, and it was a big, interesting fact for people. So
For us, it's really not a big deal. It's just a natural progression of doing things the way we think things should be done. I'm frankly shocked and horrified that every company in the planet isn't carbon neutral. Like, why wouldn't they be? It's easy to do from our perspective. Okay, simple but not easy. It's simple because because we're so used to incredible self-assessment in terms of even like the organic, the way we do certified organic. When we're audited, we have to be able to, the auditor basically pulls any product off the shelf and says, okay, let's look at this balancing cleanser batch 112021, and we have to be able to trace every ingredient back to its source within a couple of hours. So we have these incredible traceability systems for every single ingredient. Everything we do is recorded, and traceable. So everything comes in, it's tested. We can check, we can trace the trail of any ingredient that comes into our factory from the farm that it grows in to the time it gets to the customer through our quality systems. So the extension of that into that's just our products, and then we have the way we do things in our factory, which is that our water purification system, our waste management system. We just do things the best way we possibly can. So for us, this green certification, which Colin's going to talk about, we have the green certification and we have the carbon neutral certification. It was really just ticking the boxes of stuff that we already did in terms of waste minimization, in terms of energy consumption. Like we always chose the wind option for our energy supply. Water, waste, our physical factory waste, paper, our paper consumption. So we always just double print. The lighting, natural lighting, minimizing air conditioning, having open windows. It was just the way that we do things in line with the way that we live as people. Because our company is a reflection of who we are as people, and this is just the way we live. So we wanted our company to be that same way. So carbon neutral is a simple step of basically choosing the wind option of wind energy, offsetting all of our energy consumption. So assessing the travel, so all of our airplane travel, all of the shipments that go from our suppliers, from our farms and suppliers into the factory, and then every shipment coming from the factory to every customer, we know how many boxes, how many kilos we get. So just assessing that and then offsetting the transport carbon dioxide generation, the carbon dioxide gas generation from those weights. It's calculating how much carbon dioxide we produce as a company across the whole spectrum of sourcing, manufacturing, shipping, travel, the whole thing, and then offsetting that by planting trees to capture that carbon dioxide. And it's like we don't physically plant the trees, we pay someone to plant the trees on our behalf, and it's like it's not expensive. It doesn't cost a lot, and the practices we have in our factory actually save us a lot of money, by double printing and having natural light, and it's just easy because it's the way we do things. It's common sense, it's just common sense. And that's why I'm surprised that not every company is carbon neutral, because it's not hard if that's the way you are. If that's the way you think. It's like it's just a natural progression of just doing what you do naturally. So
I think one of the biggest shock moments for me, and it is every month still, is that UPS guy comes and he rings the bell and he leaves this box, and I know what I've ordered, and I've ordered a lot of stuff. And I get this tiny little box, and my knee-jerk reaction is, they forgot part of my shipment. And then you open this box, and there's no air, and everything's perfectly fitted, and there's like 6 noodles that you can throw in your compost pile when you're done.
Yeah.
And the box has been cut down to fit, and that's huge.
Yeah.
You order something from Amazon, it's a
tiny little
software
thing in a
box
massive.
in a gargantuan box with all these air pillow things around, so it doesn't get damaged. That doesn't make any sense.
No. Yeah, I forgot to mention that we have custom sized boxes, and we've figured out, the optimal layout of products, way to pack it in as tightly as we possibly can. So we're reducing the volume, and of course you all know that the little Cheeto bubble things are biodegradable. I don't recommend eating them, but kids have been known to eat them.
They dissolve into practically nothing though.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yes.
throw them in my compost pile in the
Yep.
first rain and they're gone.
They're gone.
Yeah.
Yep, you can put them in your toilet and flush them down the toilet. So yeah, totally
Or
biodegradable.
you can take it to a local UPS office and they'll recycle it for you and reuse it, which is what
Even
I think
better.
rocks.
Nice.
Here, you will reuse them, right? Yes. Okay,
Yep.
good. They're yours.
Cool.
I order from another company, Guy, and they have an option that you can purchase the tray. The consumer can do that.
Oh wow.
So it's just an option, but it gives the person ordering it the opportunity to participate.
That might be
Yeah.
something interesting to put on the website, about how you are carbon neutral. Maybe it's some kind of quote about how many trees to date you have planted.
We do. Well,
If you could-
we have it in a
if you purchase a
presentation. We do have it in a presentation, but we don't have it on the actual website. So.
So I want a picture of a tree and like how many trees.
How many
planted or
trees, you
something.
keep counting.
So like this is all hamburgers and be like trees
It'd
planted.
be great. And I think it's important to think, to make the point
Mhm.
to folks that that is
Yeah.
part of the cost
Yeah.
too. Because when you look
Yeah.
at the price of the products, they're good like midpoint, mid-price point range. They're not super crazy ritzy glitzy department store stuff, but they're not drugstore brand either. They're like
Yeah.
in the middle, but they include all these other
Everything.
things.
Yeah.
For that price point is amazing. I mean, it's
Yeah.
such a good deal. The
And
value.
I think what you're talking about here is the education here, because once you start talking to potential customers about all that goes into this product, it's not just the final product. The final product that they end up with is terrific, but it's the whole backstory, it's the whole bigger picture about what's going on here that I think is what's really exciting.
Yep.
So letting them know that and educating them that.
And
Yeah.
knowing the customer base that does buy my essence does care.
Yeah.
So all that is going to matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I
Cool,
think some of
thank you.
that kind of gets into those questions about timing and trends in the organics industry. Because when you started 10 years ago, I mean, this was still very like fringe, weird, hippie, whatever.
Yep. Fringe, weird, hippie.
I wouldn't go that far. I would just say people were like, what's organic?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
And,
But people didn't know,
No.
right? And then,
Absolutely.
believe me, I'm totally one of those fringe, weird hippie
Yep.
people now too. But
Fringe, weird, hippie, and proud of it. Yeah.
Exactly. But and I think that it's becoming more mainstream as people are realizing the importance of these things, like critically important. I mean, it's not just,
Yeah.
oh, I don't want toxins in my body. Like that's important too, but it's also like how we're caring
Yeah.
this system that cares for us and
Yeah.
sustains us. Like how,
Yeah, I mean the campaign for safe cosmetics has happened in the last 10 years, like since we've been certified. So campaign for safe cosmetics, EWG, all of these.
Good guide.
Yep, Good Guide. They're all in the last decade. So which is indicates that this is going to become mainstream. This issue is going to, and it needs to be mainstream based on what we learnt today. This stuff needs to be mainstream. You want to cut healthcare, healthcare in this country, make food stamps whole food only, no packaged food, increase the health. Imagine how much that would increase the health of people on food stamps if you can only buy fresh food on it. Like, you've seen forks over knives? If you haven't seen forks over knives, highly recommend it. Like, imagine if they created a pharmaceutical drug that made you lose 20 pounds in 12 weeks. His cholesterol, was decreased hugely. I can't remember what the score was. Blood pressure, like all of his health markers, this whatever, I can't remember his name. But in 12 weeks, just by going whole food, vegetarian, his health profile increased amazingly. Imagine if they created a pharmaceutical drug to do that. They'd be
With no adverse side effects.
no adverse effects. Yeah, no adverse effects. It's like fruits and vegetables. That's what is going to save people, us, eating healthy food. That's one aspect. And then what we put on our body and what we use in our environment. They're the three, and they're the three areas of my focus in terms of products. The skincare is pretty much done. There's a few things that I'd like to add, but they're on my wish list, not on my to-do list. So the skincare, we've detoxed, we've got beautiful products to feed and nourish our skin. We've got beautiful products, and that the area needs to be developed further. Even if it's just coming out with a recipe book on how to DIY your own cleaning products. But we've got a few products that can be used in the house for cleaning, detoxing, and then nutrition. So that my focus for the next few years is developing the food, the superfood nutrition products, because we talked about 3 aspects today. They're not the only 3. There's more that we need for optimal health. Yeah, I mean, if anyone's into natural health and well-being, that you're going to know. There's more things that we need. There's a good oil supplement. There's a good protein, raw vegan protein that we need. There's a few things that are going to just help round out. And my intention is not to create a whole 50 million supplements that you have to buy. I'm not about, popping pills and, having your food and having to also have this stuff. So my intention is to create products that are incorporated into your diet. So the berry radical is part of your, afternoon snack. You can have the deep green in your smoothies, and we're actually coming out with a recipe book very, very shortly to ways to incorporate the superfoods into your daily recipes, which is really exciting. The plan is to expand the nutritional products in the next couple of years.
What about larger quantities, so that you wouldn't have to save on shipping? Because body creams, I go through them really fast.
The hand lotion, the nourishing hand lotion, only comes in the tiny little container. I had go through 3 a month.
Really?
Yeah.
In the winter.
In the winter. Because
Oh, wow.
it's so dry.
Okay. Well, the challenge with our products is that
Shelf life?
no, well, yes, that's part of it, but you're not going to get, if we increase the volume, there's very little money saving that can be made, because the cost of goods, it's not cheap. And a tube is cheap, whether it's that big or that big. It's the same price, the tube, but the major cost of our products is the ingredients. So if we double, triple the price, the volume, then we're going to have to double, triple the price. So there's no savings really that can be made. It's not like I can give you 5 kilos of it and you get it cheap, because 5 kilos costs 50 times more than the small one. So
I pay more for the big.
you would,
Yeah.
the same ratio
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have a
Right now I'm squeezing tubes into the pump bottle, so I have the pump bottle on my desk.
Okay.
Rather than a ton of tubes all over.
wow,
Yeah, bottles. Hand cream would be nice.
pump bottles.
Well, that's what I'm doing.
The hand cream's
emptying
really-
out the body cream.
I know it's really thick.
I'm using
Yeah.
an old body cream and just putting it into the body cream and using.
So you're
the pump.
talking a pump, and
I usually pumps.
the hand cream comes out. It's not. Oh, that's surprising. I would have thought it would be too thick. Okay.
You
Well,
gotta pump it, but I can
yeah.
get my workout on.
Yeah. Well, we have is it called? Is User Voice still active? User Voice? No. Well, okay. So User Voice. It's like a forum for requests. So and basically, you stick a flag up the pole and see how many people salute it, kind of thing. And that's how we make changes. If we get lots of people, if someone says, I want an organic mustache wax, but no one votes for it, it's not going to happen. So User Voice is a way of sort of culling the fringe requests, because we get lots and lots of requests. So generally we just send them, go to User Voice, and if you get a lot of people voting for it, then it goes up the list. So generally we look at it every couple of months, or Ron, our American general manager, maintains it, and he says, okay guys, this is up there, this is a popular request. So, and then we discuss it and look at it and see how we can implement it.
And
So,
we can all vote on that? So if I want the baby lotion to come back, I can.
yeah,
Oh,
Yep.
Is it like a website, usethevoice.com?
yes. The link is going to be somewhere in the members area, in your My Account area. It should be there. Last time I checked, there was a link to User Voice. So if there isn't, just email support and we'll make sure it's up. If it's still an active,
I don't know if it, with the website change, I'm not sure if it,
yeah,
it's in the new section.
I might. I'll put down what if User Voice is still active.
North America list.
Yeah.
How many people are in the company entirely? Like not counting representatives, but just that you have help?
Staff, about 30.
Oh, wow. You do a lot with only 30 people.
Oh yeah.
How many representatives?
I don't know. I don't know. I can find out.
Well, and that actually maybe ties into with the last 5 to 8 minutes or whatever. Narelle, if you could speak to just the ways of getting the products for free, and because part of when you ask the question, well, how many representatives, it kind of depends on what kind of representatives, because there are the majority, probably 95% of representatives are people who just want products for free. So they refer a few friends, they get their products for free. And then there are some who have chosen to actually work for an income with it beyond that. And
To build a business.
to build a business from
Yeah.
home or within, or as part of their practice if they're practitioners or whatever.
And one thing that they requested that we're still working on, and I've got some great ideas from discussions with reps on this trip, was a simple business model, a simple duplicatable business model that is easy to explain, and a simplified comp plan, how we pay you. And my dream, my desire is to have like one page where that's how you get paid. This is that simple. So that's the plan. At the moment, it's a very convoluted, complicated explanation in like a 60-page PowerPoint or something
Well, we could just
insane.
do that one-page
We culled it.
Just a one-page overview then.
The overview. I think we can go further. I think we can go further in terms of simplifying the actual comp plan itself. So a simplified, simple comp plan, and simplified business system that is easily duplicatable and rewarding. So, and a simple focus, because we've got 100 plus products and 4 skin types and a 10-step facial, and hair care and skin care and deodorants and toothpastes and home cleaners and perfumes and the aromatherapy. We had a whole lot of products, and it was kind of overwhelming to know how to share the products and the opportunity with people. So what we're doing now, what we're focusing on is the Vitality Pack, creating a simple, powerful, compelling message and reason to be on the products every month, and creating a simple system where you get 3 products, 3 people to do the same, to be on the products monthly, and yours are free. And then you help them get their 3 people, and then theirs are free, and you get additional bonuses for that. So that's our focus from very recent times. Our focus is getting on to the Vitality Pack, which are the 3 health products, and getting your products for free. And basically, if you get 3 people doing that, your products are free. So that's the bottom line. How we're going to move forward is creating it's still in the process. So it's still in process, but what I would like to see is a little kind of like a, either like a DVD, so I'm going to go home and do some work. Either like a DVD or some kind of electronic format where you give a 5-minute overview of the company, who we are, what we're about, how we came to be, an overview of the products and the necessity for them, and then so it can be done in a one-on-one format or a group format where you can provide samples of, okay, this is like just what we went through today, except not so lengthy, and it was an hour and a half. So we want to bring it down to maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, where you've still got the same compelling reasons to get onto the products every month, every day, 1 teaspoon a day of each one, and just providing samples. Okay, now this is berry radical, here's how it tastes. Okay, this is about the deep green, why we need it, this is how it tastes. And and having a system that shows people how to build that business that's based on those 3 products. So that's the plan. So I'm going to go home and create even simplified more systems than we have right now.
And I think that message of getting your products for free is so powerful, especially now with the economy and the blah, 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 everything that's going on. I mean, it's such a blessing.
That's step 1.
Statistics are that the average American household spends something like $600 a year on personal care products. That's not counting nutritional supplementation. So you figure at least like $600 to $1,000 a year or something.
Yeah.
So if you can get that knocked out of your budget, get it for free, and that statistics just on the cheap junk,
the junky stuff.
That's not even like the high quality, organic, truly safe, beneficial stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, getting them for free, step 1, and then getting to the level where you're actually making money, making paying for the school fees, or getting to the stage where you can actually replace your household or your working income, so that having different levels of, and of course what you need to do to achieve those different levels.
And for those who want to, I mean, that's
if you want to, it may just be
want to, that's okay.
just want the products for free.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm very, very new, and I've been buying the products for myself to use and family. I came across the products just on a Google search.
Googling, okay.
Yeah. So I signed up through the company. I'm not really in it. Could be just because I'm not looking in the right places, but I'm not finding a whole lot of support as far as like.
Have you been given a sponsor yet? How new are you?
No,
okay, so you won't have any support.
I have like the orphan email.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So you
nobody-
haven't even been assigned to anyone
Not
local
like-
yet?
No,
Yeah.
nobody local, because the person that I was assigned to, I'm not sure, there was a name given, but it was definitely not anyone local to me.
Okay.
But, like.
So you have been assigned to someone?
I think I was. I have to look back on an email, or check on my account. Like I say, I've just been buying the products, trying to get familiar with the products, because I can't sell something that I don't believe in. And I do enjoy the products, and I've been, incrementally, changing things over and trying them, within my family.
Yep.
Which I need, like I say, it's all good, so I need to take that next step.
Yep.
But I'm just kind of like floundering out there with support, I don't know where to go. So I guess I need to
I
just.
think we need to ascertain whether you've actually been assigned to someone yet, and who that is, and find out what's going
Because
on.
I think at one point I got something that said someone was going to contact me, and I definitely never got contacted
Okay.
by that person.
Well, yeah, we need to
So-
follow that up.
Right, okay.
Would you like to?
Kelly,
I kind of stumbled upon Lacey because I got the email from the company, and then I stumbled upon her. And,
Cool.
And
You know,
you're
I'm
in
like-
New Jersey?
No, I'm actually
You're
2
in-
hours north in Pennsylvania. So
Kelly's up this Kelly right here is
Yeah.
up that way. Not in Pennsylvania, but north.
yeah.
But, yeah, well, the first step, I know, this has happened actually a few times where people get, I think because if they just go myessence.com, it's just the company site, and then they're orphaned. In fact, Ron, and I talk fairly often about, is this person orphaned? Does this person have a sponsor? Who needs what,
Yeah.
So that can be a little bit confusing sometimes, but if we figure out where you are, Kelly, and then go from there.
We can-
If you don't have support, there's definitely support available.
Yeah.
I just need to make the connections, and I need, but I really, I want to go about it from a business perspective. Because
Cool.
I'm a coach, and like that, I want to add that part to,
How does an orphan person get assigned? Like, how do they get to find?
By postcode and by what's it called? Like rank. Thank you. Yeah, postcode and rank. So
I had a similar thing happen to me a couple of years back too, when I first joined, and the person, all they want to do is internet. She was very clear. I don't want to train a team. I don't want to be part of a team. And
Your sponsor?
yes.
The person that you're underneath?
Person that I'm underneath, because
Yep.
I signed through her website, and that's all she wants to do is internet market, etc. And I have reached out because Sherry's been so kind, like, she's the one who told me about coming here today, but it would be nice to have a team local to be assigned to, and someone from Australia did contact me, and she was really nice, but I think it's very different than having a team that
Having a
you're
local person
you're
you can
part
connect
of.
with, yeah.
a group and you're working together and
Yep.
I came on the same way as you. I stumbled onto someone's website. I was Googling organic cosmetics or something.
Yep.
And so I signed up through this person, and she was very nice, but she's in Nevada.
Right.
So, I don't have much contact with her.
Well, and let me just say too, that part of the issue is
Challenge.
things grow organically and they grow not territorially, like we're not assigned a region to work in or whatever. And any of you guys who feel orphaned, you're welcome to like plug into us just for support and help if you have questions, if you have whatever, even if you're not on our team, we're happy to
This is
just
so nice.
help you. I mean, that's, we'll help you. You don't have to be on our team for that.
Is there anywhere that you can kind of go to find out, I'm sure probably you could answer like where reps are? So like where we are, is there like any kind of a list that says
Yeah.
here in
We
like-
do. We have that on the website.
I think it's only on the Facebook page.
There's also My Essence Alliance.
Yeah, the My Essence Alliance.
Yeah, but they don't have access.
No.
Outside people don't. If you're not already rep, you don't have access. You don't
But
have access.
can't you, on our website, can't you search for local people?
Not on the site, on the Facebook page, there's a function for that.
Used to be able to
but it's not on Facebook.
That's weird because
I've never seen it.
okay. I'm sure we had a search function, like a Google Maps search function that was like
If you're not connected with a rep already.
to find your local people, yeah.
That'd be great if there was.
Yeah. I'm sure we had that. Another one of the things I'm going to follow up when I get home.
Well, and I think a lot of it too, it just depends on what, you really have to get clear on what your approach is and what you want to do. And sometimes you don't know that until you're into it a little bit. And then you have to kind of figure out, well, where am I going to find the support? Who am I going to connect with? What am I going to do? I know there are a couple people who I was talking with, hi out there on the interwebs if you're listening, who are far away. But actually, like, I know I've plugged into a team that has grown that way. And so they're very supportive, even though we're spread out. So we kind of have a focus of, we're local, but we're also regional and national and global, and there's support available for all those levels, which is great. But I know I spoke with somebody who just felt really strongly like, I need a local sponsor.
Yep.
And I was like, well, let me put you in touch with someone in your area, even though it's not going to benefit me in any way. But that's what that person needed.
Yeah.
Whereas, so what I usually recommend to people if they're considering becoming a rep is interview. I mean, you need to interview. It's just like you would go in for an interview with a job. Like you need to interview your potential sponsor and say, am I going to get the support that I need from this person?
Yep.
Whether they're local or far away doesn't necessarily matter unless you very specifically want one or the other. And those are some of the questions that, we can help you work through. What do you want? Get clear on what you want. To see what's going to be the best fit for you. So,
And I think you'll find also, as I found, because I'm in New York, my sponsor is in Ohio, and she's got people all over the place. And I think what I've come to learn is because this business is very internet driven, because you have the myessence.com, I mean, your whole website is internet driven just by definition. And so, and the Facebook page and the My Essence Alliance, which is for representatives. And so there's a lot going on, just a lot of communication going on over the internet. But if there's a physical need, like you want to do school shows together or a trade show together, then there's obviously a physical need to be part of a team, a need to be part of a geographically defined team.
It's not the matter, it wasn't the matter of being geographically defined, I shouldn't say that. It's somebody who wanted you sponsored under them as a rep, and they didn't want a team. She wanted no parts of, she very clearly said to me, I'm doing this to sell a product.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
So if that's the case, you need to, and you want to build a business, you need to find another sponsor. We need to find another sponsor for you.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of asking before. I kind of sent a note up through Ron, and I've been bouncing around, and
Yeah.
Kelly's really nice. She sent me a note and said, I'll help you from over here and whatever, and, but
Yeah. I would suggest contacting support at myessence.com and explaining that. And what did Ron say?
Their statement was that they don't really like to move people with lines. Now, see, Lauren's here under me. And, you know, we're trying to look to say, you know, it's fun to have other people and work together, but without all this time having someone else to go to for
if they don't want to build, if your sponsor doesn't want to build a business, it doesn't make sense to be signed up underneath them.
I think the question was, because the request went in to move, that it's not just her immediate sponsor, but there's other people above her that it also affects if she moves.
Well, then you need to go upline and get support from them.
Yeah.
And there will definitely be people. So it's about finding those people, and that's in your My Account area. You can find your first frontline executive.
Yes, yes. And I did go through that route. It was just when she was saying that question, just to say that, you know, there's people out there who have built these internet businesses, but for some reason they don't want to be part of building a rep team. Whether they're here locally or not is, you know, kind of not really a question. It's just, when you sign up, you want someone who's going to help you out. Which everybody in the community, like Organic Alliance, that's how I found Sherry, because I put a request out there and she answered. So that's all great.
Yep. Okay. So working with your upline executive, have you identified who that person is, and you can work with them for your business building needs and requirements? That's what you need to do.
Right.
Yep. Because if your sponsor is not active, then that's the next step. Working with your upline exec, and they're people who are in it to help people build the business.
Okay, but you guys, it is now 20 of 6 almost. And so
Dinner time, almost.
I thought I wasn't going to go without.
Yeah.
Oh, did you have another question?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
let's take
have
one more question.
about SEO optimization, and I've done a lot of training in that and software, because I have that website which is doing nothing. So what SEO optimization is, you have to draw traffic and get blogs to start getting people to go into your website. This is another software that I'm learning from my real estate business. Do you have any knowledge of that, of SEO optimization?
No.
Okay.
That's a whole nother that's like
Topic.
training all by itself. Probably,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it
we
is.
have some
It's
access to that
I'm
training.
just learning it, and it's complex. And then you have to start blogs, and then you have to get Google optimized,
Yeah.
so that when they'll do a search locally, they'll see my website.
Yeah.
But because I know that website's not working.
Right.
You know, I just.
Well, yeah, the company website is just
Yes.
a replicated site. If you don't drive traffic to it,
Right.
nothing happens. And there's so much out there, it's just gonna, it's not even gonna show up in the search.
And that's why a lot of us have our own sites that point,
Your own
if you
blog or
want,
something.
right, if you want to purchase products, click here and you will be redirected, and it takes you into the My Essence store site.
Yeah. And that's the top. I mean, we could definitely we could chit chat about that over dinner. So, but for the sake of the webcast, everybody out there, thank you so much for being
Thank
with us.
you.
And thank you guys. And we're gonna cut that, and we're officially dismissed. If you're staying for the rep dinner, that's 6 to 8. It's just gonna be informal chit chat, buffet style.
Oh, that's here, isn't it?
Yep, it's all just
okay,
here.
cool.
So you
All
don't
right.
have to go
We don't have to go anywhere.
Break and talk and chat. And all that.
Thank you.
Thank you.